are listening to Stories from Palestine podcast, a podcast recorded in Palestine and about Palestine. My name is Crystal. I am originally from the Netherlands and I am married to a Palestinian. We live in Beit Safafa between Jerusalem and Bethlehem, and we run Singer Cafe and Al Jisr Bar in Beit Sahur. Before moving to Palestine in 2013, I worked as a teacher and tour guide in the Netherlands. I have a degree in history and in tour guiding and many years of tour guiding experience. Due to the COVID pandemic, tourism in Palestine came to a complete halt, and that's why I started Stories from Palestine podcast in August 2020. This is the second year of the podcast, with every week on Monday a new episode about the history and heritage of Palestine, as well as the reality of life today. I hope you will enjoy today's episode. It's been quite a rough week for my daughter Louisa and myself, because in the beginning of the week we noticed that we were getting sick and we tested positive for COVID. We don't know which corona variant we caught, but it wasn't easy on us. And I had a couple of days that I really couldn't get out of bed. So much pain in my back and in my legs and in my head. That was the worst, the headache and the muscle ache. And now I'm recovering, but still I have pain in my stomach. And my nose is now getting stuffed and I started coughing. So, yeah, it was not easy, but it was good that I already recorded the podcast episode for this week in the previous weekend. So the only thing I had to do was to edit it. And that was something that I managed to do. And I think you are really going to enjoy listening to this episode. It's very inspiring. It's an interview with Salah Noon. He's originally from Jaffa, but he grew up in Balata, refugee camp in Nablus. And he married my Dutch friend Nynke. And I knew them in Palestine, and I met them several times when I visited Holland. And I knew that they were going for a very big adventure from the Netherlands to Palestine by bike. And during that long journey, they were active on social media, so I could follow what they were experiencing on their Instagram and Facebook accounts. And Nynke used to send me almost weekly an update on a WhatsApp message. So I knew a lot of the stories that they had experienced, but there was so many more things to know. And eventually, Nynke didn't make it to enter into Palestine because of the restrictive rules by the Israeli authorities. And you will hear more about that. But Salah, he made it. And I saw videos of him reaching the refugee camp and seeing his family again after 3.5 years. And that was very emotional. So when he told me he was coming to Bethlehem last week, I said, all right, I need to record a podcast episode with you. And when I told several of my friends here that I was about to do that, they were super interested to also hear the story. And I invited them to come to our Jisr Bar, where we have also a cinema room where we can show films and where we can have small meetings, gatherings, and even music concerts. And we sat there and we listened to Salah and we couldn't get enough. So I hope that you will also enjoy this beautiful episode. Yes, we are here in Al Jisr in Beit Sahur with a very nice audience. And this is the first time that I do a podcast recording with audience, because we have a very special guest. And not only the podcast listeners, but people here in Palestine are interested to hear the story of Salah, who came all the way from Holland to Palestine by bike. And I think that is a pretty amazing achievement. And I've been following you guys from the moment you left until you arrived here. And I have a lot of questions to ask you. But before we go into the journey, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and maybe also your wife, Nynke, who did the whole trip with you, but who couldn't make it to the last stop?
Yeah, okay. So I am Salah. I'm originally from Jaffa, but I grew up in Nablus, in Balata camp. Since 7 years, I am in Europe. Since 5 years, I am in Holland with my wife, Nynke. And yeah.
What is your background? Like, did you study? What were you doing? What were you working?
In 2007, I jumped to Syria to study art and theater, acting, filming. But since I get in Europe, I start to looking for more my hobby than also my work as an artist. So the bike was the tools take me out of the couch or take me out to hit the forest or the river. So it's become my biggest hobby because I don't like gym and I don't like to ice skating. I'm not good. And Holland, you know. So the bike, it was the things make me really feeling free.
Yeah. And can you say a little bit about Nynke?
Nynke, yeah, I know her from Syria. After I know her, she come to Palestine, we get married, and then we moved to Sweden and then to Holland. She worked engineering company. Yeah, but she's not like me. She's not artist. She's more office job. But yeah, after this journey, she now switch everything to be...
yeah, we will get there. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. How did the two of you decide to go on such a long journey? When and how did that happen?
Okay, the whole idea started in, how I can say it? It was growing in my head before that we need to make a journey for 3 months, 2 months. In 2020, in the new year, like the last day of the year, we decided to go to camp in the forest. Not to go to any party or something. No, we go to the forest and then with the tent, and it was -7. And then we go camping. And in that moment, we decide that we need to switch our life. Because we come to the point that we feel not bored, but we feel there is some emptiness start to grow in the house and in the life we live. That I have a job, she have a job. She work from 9 till 6, I work from 9 till 6. And then there is nothing like can charge us. Yeah, so we decide we have to get to these ideas to cycle at 3 months. Slowly, the 3 months become more because we start to get more crazy about the idea. And then we feel like, okay, let's cycle in Europe. And then we get more crazy and then we say, let's cycle to Palestine. And then it's become more crazy now, but we'll tell it later.
Oh,
yeah. So after this, in January or in February, I get corona. I get sick. And also in that moment, I was not feeling good psychologist. Like I feel lonely, depression. I need to do the trip, but just something with corona make me not feeling okay, like to the routine. I don't know. And then after corona, I get tired in corona. I get 2 days I was not feeling fine. But in that moment, I decide this is a big sign that to change everything in my life. And also she get corona after a few months. And then this is a big sign also. So we start to, it was an idea and now it's become reality. It was, we need to do it. Anyway, we need to do it. And maybe to Palestine, maybe we don't know. In 4th of July, we start.
And what did you have to prepare? I mean, if you think about going away for half a year and you have jobs and you have a house and you have a life. So that, like what you leave behind, and also how do you prepare for such a trip? What are the things you have to think of, to organize and to plan in order to start?
So when we start to make it as a plan that we need to leave as soon as we can, as we be ready, we divide the responsibility. Like I told her about the bikes, it's my responsibility because I am also bike mechanic. I'm more with bikes, and so. Yeah, we need to choose which kind of bikes, which kind of touring bikes, steel frame, aluminum frame, all this technical stuff. And she make research about what's kind of sleeping bag, we have to buy everything's from zero. We had some stuff, but we realized it's, like a tent, like a sleeping bags, like clothes. We need special clothes, special jackets, because we don't know where we need to sleep. And we need to be kind of, feeling relaxed, like we don't need to have any problem in there. And for us, for us about the bikes and about everything, we make kind of a strategy that we have to fix everything by ourselves. So because we don't know where we sleep and where we will end. So this is a big research. So we start to look for another YouTuber. They are also a traveler. And we start to make research about what kind of quality of the tools we need, how to be light. We are not managed to be light. We actually heavy. And we need to get trained. We go to physical therapy to see how we train and get trained. I was working in Utrecht. It was 30 kilometers from my house. So I started to cycle 10 months to my work. So 60 a day I was doing every day. And then she was when she was free in the weekend, she trained. So yeah, it's become like a big organizing.
Yeah, and if you think about the route that you wanted to take, because in order to reach from Holland towards Palestine, you could take many different routes, roads, countries, and there was also COVID, so you had to think about that.
COVID was kind of the main reason that how we plan the road, because some country you are not allowed to enter, so we make a road around it. So the things with COVID and road, we start to make, okay, let's make a line from North Holland to Istanbul, and then we see. But the road's not straight. We have to make zigzag and climb mountains. So we have a vision that which country we need to visit. And then we plan each month. We don't plan long term because we don't know if we need to come back or if we need to make a turn. And in some country, we make a big turn. Like I remember when we was in Serbia and we need to go to Bulgaria, the border between Serbia and Bulgaria was closed because of COVID. So we have to go to Romania, and from Romania we cycle all the way and we go to Bulgaria to enter Istanbul, Turkey. So it's we make it like spontaneous.
Did you, from the beginning, know a bit the idea of which roads you will take, or while you're driving, how do you do that? Do you have maps? Do you use the phone?
Yeah, we use a website called Pike Map, and this website you can plan your road, and he told you how high you can go. So first we go to this and we make a map, and then we download it to our phone, to the apps called Maps.me. What's good about this app is free, so you don't need internet. So we download all the maps we needed. Like let's say we need to go in Holland, so we make the road, and then we download and then we start to cycle. If we are in Germany and we are reaching mountains, we have to know, because the maps, what's good for it is that you must know how much food you need to take, or are you in close to the people, civilized or not, because some foresters, we are 2 days.
So when you went, how were you thinking about where you will sleep and where you will eat? Like, what was your plan for that?
We don't plan. We live a moment. Like this is the plan. Today we just go, and then at 5 o'clock when we feel like it's become dark, we start to hunt place. So we just put the tent.
Can you tell a few experiences about that? Like to hunt a place, it's getting 5 o'clock. You're in the middle of a city, or you're in the middle of nowhere. Like how does it go?
So the things like we every day we start at 6 o'clock cycling, or 7, because we have to put the tent and take it out. So let's say 7, maybe 8 if we are late, and then we start to cycle. We cycle 3 hours, and then we are breaking 2 hours because we have to cook, because we don't go to restaurant, we just eat, or we go to supermarket, and then we cycle 3 hours, and we know that we have 2 hours to find a place. If we are close to the city, we try to get out of the city. If we cannot, we start to ask the people where we can put our tent in their park or something, because we know that we cannot, it's not allowed. Some country you cannot really put your tent. And the people was really helpful to help us to put the tent in their garden or in the farmers in their lands. Yeah. But 90% we camp in the forest, in the river, in farmers' lands. And let's say 10% if we are in the city, like Istanbul, you cannot. So we go to hotels or hostel. And as a cyclist, you know later that there is an app called Warm Shower. Oh. And this is very useful apps, because it's like a place everywhere for cyclists. You can just go for free, and then you can contact them, and then you can just, like a couch surfing, but just for cyclists. And this was really helpful. Yeah. And also you can get some information from them where you can go. And
yeah, I mean, I've been following you because you had all your stories on Instagram, and I've been talking to Nynke on WhatsApp, so I know some of the stories, and I know that you had a couple of really welcoming people. Can you give a few examples of, like, almost like you get your trust back into the humanity?
We are so surprised actually about this, because there's some fear, like, to ask people, but when you start to do it always and to not fear and to ask, you are so shocked how welcoming they be. Like in Germany, I was really shocked. Like, we don't have anyone say no. Nobody. And we have a funny story that we was in the middle of Germany, I think close to Frankfurt, I'm not sure, the village. And then it was raining like a hell. And then, so we say, okay, let's go to the cafe to eat something. And after 3 o'clock, if it's not raining, we continue to the mountain. At 3 o'clock, we get out of the cafe and we start to back the bikes again. And some woman come to us and she told us, "Are you Salah and Nynke?" And we say, "Oops, yeah." You say, "Yeah, did you order croissant and cappuccino in the morning?" And we say, "Well, yes." He say, "I'm Anna. Do you want a place to stay?" We say, "Of course." "But we can have a place here and there." She told me, "No, just follow me." And we go to her place, and it was an amazing place close to the forest. She was actually a traveler and backpacker in India and Australia. And she rent her house from the owner of the cafe. And the cafe woman told her that we have traveler, and we stayed 3 days in her place.
Wow.
Because we need to take shower.
Yeah. And sleep in a bed probably?
Yeah, it's like a mattress, but yeah, we take shower and then we make fire, and then we because we need a rest. I think in that period, we like around 15 days, we don't take shower, and we are just in the mountains, climbing. So we feel like, okay, let's have some place like a hostel or something, or we can find river or whatever. And then And
then she appeared, the angel.
Yeah, angel.
Yeah. Do you also have other experience like the opposite, where you are cycling somewhere and you're hoping to find somewhere to stay, and then nobody is responsive?
Well, I remember we don't have a good experience in Serbia. I don't know why. Like we finish Bosnia and then we enter Serbia. It's the people, they are not welcoming, but they look at you in the way like, what you doing here? Yeah. So from the face, you start to know the people. Like sometimes you ask, they say, "I don't know," or you go there or you go there. So it's no. Yeah. So we start to go inside the forest. But I can tell a story. It was in Bosnia when we lost in the forest. In that time, we take a road because it was in the map, and it's become dark and dark and dark. And then we lost. Actually, we cannot see the road's not in the map anymore. And then we start to become dark, and then we cannot go there, we cannot do it. And yeah, you start to feel fear, because the problem was in Bosnia is the mine. Like there's a bomb in the ground. So this is our all fear, not about animals or people. Because if we put the tent, maybe we move. So this was for us like, shit, like. So my mind started to work hard, and I just tell Nynke, "Listen, if anything's happened, I will make fire and I will sit here, you sleep, the morning we go." But yeah, you feel like you need to move because you don't know. So we continue moving till we see a car, and it's like an angel.
Yeah.
And we just told him we are lost. He speaks English a little bit. And then he told us, "You are wrong, you have to go back." I told him, "I will not go anywhere. I will just follow you." And then we continue follow him around like 8 kilometers inside the forest. And then we sleep in his father's house. It was a house in the middle of the forest, just one house. And his father. And then, you wake up and you feel like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, how I achieved. And it was really intense experience and so beautiful in somehow, because you keep pushing yourself to not. Because there's something with the traveling, you make you feel like it will be okay. Like you have to trust this, it will be okay. You have to trust, you'll be fine.
Was that your most challenging experience when you got lost in the forest, or were there other experiences during the way that you experienced as very challenging?
This one was tough because Yeah, when you lost and about the mine, like about mine and bomb. I remember one, it was in Bulgaria, and we put the tent, and then we hear that this forest, there is dub. What's it mean? Dub?
Bears.
Bear, yeah. And we feel, oops.
Oh, yeah.
we have to move the tent because it's... I just told her I will not go inside the forest. I will try to be in the forest, but more close to the road because we know that the bears, this night I don't sleep.
I remember Nynke telling me a story that you slept in the tent and you did hear noises around the tent.
Yeah, this is another story. It was in Croatia, and it was at 3:00. Nynke hears something jumping from that side and that side, and then we feel like, oh, what is this? I was asleep. And then she told me she just see a nose like this. And then he take the herring, it's me like the, what you call it?
Oh yeah, from the tent.
Iron, out, and he tried to eat the food. And it was our mistake to put the food close. And it was a fox. And, and then she wake up me and she started to panic. And, So I need time to wear clothes, and I go out and he's gone. Yeah. It was really...
Well, I remember camping somewhere and there was the hedgehog with the pointy sticks and was going around the tent, and it sounded like there was a person walking around the tent. And it was just a small animal, so I can imagine with a fox. So what was, out of all these countries that you passed, what was maybe your favorite country or the most unexpected country that you liked?
Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia, it was amazing. It's like heaven. Like, because the things, it's like a virgin. There is no lot of houses in the forest, and you just miles and miles, and there's nothing, and you just forest and mountains, and you lost, and you feel like scared. But because you lost, you start to look more about what's around you, and it surprised me how beautiful is it. Especially the road between Mostar and Sarajevo. I cannot forget this area. Most of the countries, they are beautiful and nice, but this one, because it's virgin and there is not a lot of cities, and it's coming from the war, so a lot of people leave. So you see just empty houses sometimes, and it was intense and beautiful in the same way.
Didn't you also go to Srebrenica? How was that?
Palestinian or as a traveler? Because it's different feelings. Like for me, I told her I don't like to be there because I come also from war, so I don't want to be in this situation. But I feel like it's looked like it's meant to be. Yeah, it was intense place because where is the genocide happening? So you go as a traveler, as a freedom, you're free. But you know that this area was genocide, and 8,000 people, they cut their head and they play football with it. So there is a lot of story. You could feel it in the ground.
Did you speak with people there?
Yes, and we sleep in the house of somebody because we put a tent and some two women, Fatima and Khadija, and then we see where are you from. I'm Palestinian. They love Palestine because maybe it's Islamic background. And then we make a deal with Nynke. I told her it's good that you don't say you're Dutch because we know that the history is the Dutch from the UN. But Nynke, she don't know how to lie. Where are you from? Dutch. And she started to cry. They start to hug her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but they are so happy. They're really welcoming. Yeah, Khadija, I remember she lost all her brother and they cut their head in front of her. So to hearing this, it just makes me feel like it's in my sound. It's because I was also in Balata as Isaf, like medical. I was nursing in Intifada, so it's bringing me somewhere. Yeah, make me feel like.
That was also interesting that you said you did that road trip as a traveler, as a human being, but in the same time you are a Palestinian and you have your own baggage. So yeah, can you say something about how was it for you as a Palestinian? Most Palestinians don't have any opportunity to travel. They are stuck in the West Bank or in the Gaza Strip. Now, yeah, you married Nynke, you had the Dutch passport, you could do this.
It's mixed feeling because I have passport, I can travel. But also I know that if I don't have passport, I am like one of them, like the one is locked down. And so there is mixed feeling that, yeah, you have a freedom, but also, yeah, you come from area that there is no freedom. And but you start to understand what's mean freedom. And Yeah, it's happy and not happy because also my family don't have this freedom. So sometimes I feel kind of sad or shy to put some photo in Instagram to my family see it because, yeah, my brother, they never leave. And this is, yeah, it's a little bit heavy. I know that they are happy, but I know what they feel. So it's very mixed feeling. And this is in somehow what's keep me moving. Because I know maybe this opportunity, I have it. Not a lot of people have it. So I should use it in the way that to see more.
Yeah, I do want to get to that question, like what this trip did to you, how did it change you, and what is your next plans? But before we get there, I want to hear a bit more of your travel stories. So do you have a couple of really good moments to share with us or crazy things that happened on the way that you say like, yeah, they really stand out in my memory?
Like it's because there are many. So
Can I help you? Because Nynke told me that you stayed in Istanbul, you stayed with a family, and then you go into kind of a family fight happening.
It's so weird. It's just so weird. Like Istanbul is so big. Like because we enter from Bulgaria and then we continue cycling and we sleep in some village and then we continue cycling to reach Istanbul. But we start to reach Istanbul in the dark. So I told Nynke it's not good because I don't know where we need to sleep and we never plan where we sleep. We just go and put the tent. But Istanbul is so big. So in the end, we start to reach Istanbul, but from the north, I think. And then I asked somebody in the street. It was really dark. I just told him, I need to know where's some hotel, because we don't have any connection. And somehow he told us, follow us. You are welcome in my house. And he was a captain for his couch, like for football. So we go to his house and then he helped us. And we just feel like, thank you. Actually, thank you. And at 1 o'clock or 12, a big fight, a huge fight happening downstairs in our building, screaming like, actually the Turkish people, they're so nice, but if they are fighting, forget all the tea. They are so stubborn. Like they're really screaming and they hit each other and the police come, they start to hit. Yeah, I feel like...
You felt like home.
Yeah. And somehow I told Nynke, now somebody have to shoot something with the gun. He told me, no, this is not Balata. Just come down. Yeah, where's the bullet? But it's something like this. Yeah. And then I start to feel shy to be there. And I thought it's because our bike's down and it was just like the apartment next to him and he feels shy. No, you have to sleep. And he feels shy because he bring me to this. Yeah. At 6 o'clock we leave.
Yeah. Oh, you left early. There was another story. I remember her now that she told me about a place where you didn't have a common language. That person was a bit weird and you broke a key. There was something where you...
I think it's in Turkey. It's in Turkey. Yeah, in Turkey. We was in a cafe. We need to buy food. But somehow we start to know that in 5 o'clock we start to hunt. We need to find people to ask or place to put the tent. We ask two Turkish men. We tell them we would like to put the tent somewhere here. Do you know any area there? They don't speak English. They just offer us tea. And we say, we don't need chai. So we start to show them the tent and the picture. They don't understand.
No.
So we told him, okay, we go. She said, no. And then we stop. Okay, what we do now? We go or we stay? So in the end, he said, come here. So I feel like, okay, it's me. He will bring us. So he bring a chai, we drink chai, and then we wait. And it's become dark. And I just feel I don't trust this guy. I don't know. And then she told me, yeah, we don't have any solution. And so we walk with him and he have a house. And the guy, when we see the house, because you have to, somehow you start to know the people. Like you see a house, like a family house. You see small shoes for the children. You feel like you have a family. But it looked like he's the only one living now in the house. Okay, we start to put the bike and stuff. But I am between trust and not trust because, yeah, I learned this. So he show us the room, we put the things, and I just told Nynke, we'll just sleep, and in the morning we just leave because this guy is weird. Yeah. I don't know why, but he's just weird. So we put the room, and when we go inside, we lock the keys. And we know that it looked like he's living alone, his family not there, and he's drinking a lot. alcohol. So we know there is a problem in the house. But he's a nice guy. He don't look like he's dangerous or something. At 2:00, Nynke wake up me and she told me the keys of the room is broke. I told her, so what? We are locked inside the room. And then he's still drinking in another room. And I just feel like, what?
She tried to go
She tried to go to the toilet, but she broke the keys. Yeah. And he drunk, and he don't speak English, and we are inside, so fix it. So we speak in English, but he don't speak any English. And we don't know how to tell him. I don't want to break the doors because he's a drunk. Yeah, it's just so weird place. So I just feel like, okay, Balata way. Oh, I open the window and I jump from the window. And then I go inside and I just see him. I just catch him and tell him, just stay here, please. And I try to open the locks and he's, look, in Turkish.
Turkish.
And I just feel like, this is so weird. So I told Nynke, you have to jump from the window. Yeah. So she jumped from the window and he still drank and he wanted to offer me drink. I told him, no, please. So she go to the bathroom and I'm just waiting in the bathroom because he's drunk. I don't know what he can do. He's a nice guy, but it's just weird. Like we broke his lock. He don't look angry, but he want to fix it now. And man. And then we come back to the same window and we just told him bye. And then we close the window and we sleep. And at 7:00, we just jump from the window, put the bikes, and then go.
And the door was still locked.
Yeah, until now. Maybe he waiting till now in the door. He think we are inside.
That you are still inside. Yeah. Oh, these guys, they slept really long. They must have been so tired.
Yeah, we just say bye and then thank you, shukran, and then we just left. Yeah. And we have another story, and actually this story, it's touched me in the way it's weird, but it's touched me. It was in Croatia, and then in Croatia we are between mountains. We go the high mountains, and we start to go between the mountains. We don't go to the coast, but in this area there's a mountains in the left side and the right side. In the middle it's cold, it's really cold because the sun not coming, so there's a lot of wind, so you feel like cold. Anyway, we asked some woman. We told her we need to put the tent. She don't speak English. She say yes, but in the way that she just move her head. And then we use Google Translate to Croatian. And somehow she give an offer to put, because she have a big garden. So we put the tent, but she keep talking to us and look at us. We just feel like, did she want money? Or we don't really understand. And then she start to cry. And I feel like, fuck. There's something weird. And then she write in Google and we see, and actually she just say that I'm Anna, I live alone. My husband died 3 months ago, and I am teacher, and you are welcome. And she just start to cry, and we just feel like there's something between we are here and her husband. We don't know. And then in the morning we use Google Translate to communicate. And she's a teacher, she's retirement, and actually 10 years ago, 2 French cyclists, they come to the same place and they ask her when her husband was alive, and he offered this place, and it was for her like a memory and it was touching me because it's, and somehow you bring a nice memory to the people, but also, yeah, yeah, it's a mixed feeling. For me, with all the people we sleep in, and there are a lot actually, because we are 200 days in the bikes, 200 nights. Some people, you feel that you add something in their life because they are lonely. So when you come with this story that we are cyclists, it's look like you bring a story to their life. But it's also sad that to show that a lot of people lonely. So and somehow this trip make me believe that, yeah, you cannot live alone. You whatever you have, money, you are empty. And then this is why some people, they are really welcoming, because for them we are just a new story, new things in their life. Yeah, and they treat us like a children, like they're children. And we put the tent, no, you go inside, and then food and stuff. And I remember in Romania, I think, they keep give us food and pork and stuff, and I told him, no. I say, no, you have to eat. And they keep, yeah, it was so special with all this experience.
And then you were in Turkey, and in order to reach Palestine, you had to do something because there is no way to go through Syria.
So the plan is that from Turkey, we go to Antalya. From Antalya, we take a boat to Cyprus. And from Cyprus, we take a boat to Scandaria, and then we hit the Nile. But the thing is, there is no boat in this area. It's so complicated in Cyprus because if you come from this side, Turkish side, to the Greek side, it's politically it's not okay, and maybe you have to buy fine. It's not fine. So we feel like, okay, we cannot go with a boat because we thought we can go with a sailing boat or something, but no. So we take a flight from Istanbul to Cairo, and then we hit Nile till Aswan, all the way. And Egypt was for us, it's a big bomb, like it's messy, and the situation was awkward because Egyptian people don't really have experience with the cyclists a lot. So the first day we put the bikes and then we cycle 80 kilometers. We reach a city called Bani Suef, and there a policeman catch us. And then he actually don't know what he need to do with us because what you are doing in Said. Yeah, we are cyclists. I speak with him Arabic because I feel it's hell, but actually it was a wrong idea to speak Arabic with them. So he say you need something called insurance, like a car you need to follow. He follow you because you are not allowed to cycle in the street without some police behind you. They call it insurance. I told him how we do it because nobody told me. He say, now I bring you back to the hotels, and then there I will call you. He don't call. And there isn't nothing like, no.
Oh,
there is no story about somebody nobody want to have the responsibility in somehow to be responsible for you. So we feel like, okay, we fly to Cairo, but we don't cycle. And it's for us disappointed. So we stay 2 nights in the hostel. And then I told her, let's just take a train after Bani Suef. And then from there, because if he want to send us, he will send us to Luxor because we are more far away from Cairo. So we do it. We have adrenaline. Yes, let's do it. And then we take train. We go to Sohag. And then from Sohag, we continue cycling. And then they catch us. And then they have start to follow us. And car by car, they cannot put us in the train. And in that time, I don't speak any Arabic. Because it was good to not open subject with them. And then we just cycling. But it was tough because every day we have to cycle 120 kilometers without stop. Because there is no hotels between. So you have to go from Sohag to Qena, from Qena to Luxor, from Luxor to Aswan. There is no, in the middle, there is nothing. Like, there is small villages and no, it's a Said. You are in the middle of Said. Yeah, we...
120 kilometers.
Without stop, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a long day.
Yeah, a long day, yeah. We just go to hotel, wake up and go. But we have a nice experience that we try to find warm showers in maybe. We don't know. And we found it in Sohag, in a Said. I don't know this guy why, but he was like an angel for us. So we contacted them that we need to try to find in between some area we can sleep, because some areas there's just 200 and I cannot do 200 a day. Since we have a lot of luggage, we are over 65 kilo each with water and benzene, because we have benzene to make the food. So yeah, a guy, and he have a group called Sohag Cycling. So wow, like a teenager from Said, they like cycling, and then they welcome us, and then they found a small village between these two cities. We feel like we cannot do it, and it's called Girga. Amazing, like, and inside this small village called Girga, there is also cyclists or guy he likes cycling, so he say they can come to our house. Wow, to sleep in a Saidi house in the middle of Egypt, and you know how traditional they are. So we cycle to this village with also the police car behind us. When we enter the village, it's like explode, like all the people come to us. And then I just feel like, this is the first time I feel not in some way scared, but I don't know what, a lot of people, like I just feel a woman in my face and she'll say, what's my cake? And I feel like, I'm Salah. I'm friend of this guy. So he bring us to his house, and in his house actually in another small area in Girga is called Kharga Girga. So like more inside, like more. So we go there, but in somehow we are so happy because you cannot have this experience all your life, like to be in the heart of Said, and that they treat us like maybe we are you are the first Ajanib come to this area. So they want to offer us to kill a sheep, and I say no, we are not. We need to leave tomorrow. So guy. No, and Said, you have to be careful with them because if they say something, you have to follow. So I just told him, Asif, because now I start to speak Arabic, I'm Palestinian, but with Boulith I speak English or Dutch, if he understands it. Yeah, to not open more subject. I don't want him to send me back. So in Kharka Girga, we slept. They separate us. A woman, they take Nynke and bring us up, and I stay down with a lot of, from the family, and they give me jalabiya, and I wear jalabiya, and I become Saidi. And they told us, they told me, tonight there is a theater play in the center, and you have to come. I say, okay. So we go to a center, like a culture center, and they have, a group from Cairo, they make a theater play. But after we need to go, and then you have to make interview now.
Interview.
So the interview inside Girga with us and with TV, and I just feel like this is so weird and nice in some way because I'm really happy and it's feeling so safe. And even I asked because actually when we sleep in the house, a policeman, he have to stay with us. This is from the government. So the family of this house, they tell the car of the police, you have to leave. You cannot stay here. Just keep one. And then when I don't see the car, I just ask the policeman, it's called Shawish, told him, where is the car? He told me, you are in the Said now. So don't worry. All this area and all these houses is for one family. So you are in the Girga family. So you are much safe than any place in the world. And there you understand what's mean culture and how strong the Said family is. You are really safe. And somehow you feel like there's kind of understanding between the government and because, traditional, they understand it. And if there is somebody, it's our guest. So he sleep in the same room with his gun. And I sleep in his, in another side. And I realized the first time that the Saidi people, they don't sleep in mattress. They sleep in the wood. So we sleep in the wood. And so amazing, actually, experience. And in the morning, a car come, and then we continue cycling to Qina and then to Luxor. But it was amazing.
So you saw the pyramids?
I saw it before. We tried to get with a bike to the pyramid in Al Giza, but actually the police don't enter us with the bikes. You are not allowed. So we tried to take just one photo and if I want to go inside where I need to put my bike, there is no, so we feel like, another time. At least we see it because we actually cycle around Al Giza and the pyramid is so big. You can see it from really far. But we see a lot of tambos and Egypt, it's Dunya, like it's so amazing. This river with all these tambos is just really like you need more than 1 month or 2 months. You need to live there. Yeah. It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
And how did you get from Egypt to Jordan? Because I had a discussion with somebody about that. Because was it with you or I had a discussion with somebody. It's like, and then they drove to Jordan. They're like, Crystal, you cannot drive from Egypt to Jordan because there's sea between it. Like, oh yeah. I forgot.
So when we reach Aswan to go to a Nubi village, and actually this is another story, Nubi village, because I want to see this Nubi people, because Nubi, it's a group of people, they are living between Egypt and Africa. And they don't speak Arabic, they speak Nubi. And I learn a lot about this group. Their language, you cannot write it and you cannot teach it you cannot write it and you cannot read it. You just learn it from father to son, and that's it. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, we finish from Aswan and then we go to, we go to Luxor and we try to cycle all the way to Sina, but no way the police will let you. No way. So we take a bus from Luxor to Sharm el-Sheikh, and from Sharm el-Sheikh to Dahab. We stay in Dahab a couple of days, and then we go to Yuba. It's also in Sina, and then we take a boat to Jordan, like a big boat. And then from Jordan, we hit up to Wadi Rum, Batra, Little Batra, Karak, Amman.
I remember that Nynke told me that you, because I sent her a website on how to bike in Jordan, but they said specifically that from north to south it's doable, but from south to north it's very difficult because it's all the time uphill and difficult roads.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm Palestinian, she's Dutch, so we are step bear, more than step bear then. So we just go to take it from down. It was really hard. Yeah. It was really hard. But we take it easy in the way that we don't really have any injured. Yeah, but it's amazing. It's Wadi Rum, wow. To camp in the Wadi Rum, and then we cycle to Batra, and then of course, we can go inside the Batra with the bike. So we go in the top behind the city, and we can see, wow, it's...
Well, that's actually interesting, because you mentioned that now for the second time. I never thought about that. If you have these expensive bikes with you that are not just your bikes, they are your home. You cannot leave them out of sight.
I cannot lose it.
Were you ever afraid, like, especially when you're camping out somewhere, that you will wake up in the morning and not find your bikes? Did you lock them really well, or? It depends if you are inside the garden of somebody or if you are in the wild. I always connect in the bike with the tent, and I also put inside the bike some my cup, and my cup it's from aluminium. So if the bikes move, I can wake up, and then we try to put a lot of kind of stones and connect in the bike. So if anything's move, I know. And of course I was scared, but after, when you are in the wild, like, who need to go to the wild to, like, you can hear it when he arrived. Did you ever have problems with the bikes? I know you're a bike repair man, so you can fix it, but you need also the tools and the material.
In my bikes, there is a bag just for tools, another bags for kitchen to cook, other bags for, sleeping bags, like we make a house, like each rooms, it's for something. This is for cooking. This is for fixing the bikes. This is for electronic and laptops and stuff. This is for clothes. And this is the front for rain clothes, the cameras and top. So we know. And I can fix anything in the bikes. Anything. And because I was working with the bikes in Holland, so I get more experience, what's kind of quality and how to, because I build my bike from zero. I don't buy it. I just buy the frame and I build it. Everything's from single. So I know every small things in the bikes, how to fix it. Yeah.
Hey, and I'm going to go towards your arrival here. But first, you were planning to arrive here with Nynke. How did it feel when you got that email from Koget that Nynke did not have the permission to enter?
Yeah, it was... And somehow you know that this could happen, like, because we put it in the ground, but it was surprised that, like, why not? Because the plan to come here for wedding for my sister, and I feel like she's the first from family member, but yeah. So we call, and then they refuse. They say, just no. And she say, why? Just no. You can apply again. And then we know it's no. And it's not because COVID, it's because me. So in that moment, we start to make a plan that, okay, what we do now? I have to go because of the wedding. And then maybe she can wait me in Egypt, and then we continue to Turkey, and then we continue to Asia. But also Nynke, she tried to change her career, because all this trip, there's a processing happening with her every day. She was applying for another job abroad, and they say yes. It's actually in Jordan. So we know that, okay, it means I will continue solo after the Palestine. So we say goodbye. She go to Dahab, and then she Holland. And I am here preparing for the...
Yeah, first tell us, before you tell us what's next, how was that to bike from Jordan over the bridge? I think you came from Allenby Bridge, and to enter into Jericho, and then to bike to your home in Balata. I mean, I saw the video of you arriving there. Yeah.
I don't know, like, since I hug Nynke, she go in the bus and she go, I just say, it's become reality. It was my dream, and now it's reality. Let's go home. So I just put the bikes and I just move. And I just hit the road, and I go to, because it's really, Amman is high, and then, so I just go down. it was amazing with adrenaline, and you just feel you want to go home, you want to reach the house. And somehow I was more fast than Nynke because I'm alone and I don't have any rhythm. I just go. Yeah. Emotionally, I get emotional because when I'm reach the border, I just feel like it's happening. It's reality. So I reach Jericho in the borders, and in the borders of Jordan, they told me you cannot put the bike. You have to put the bikes part. You cannot just go. Yeah, they don't allow me. I just feel like it's just a bike. They say, you should feel happy that we allowed you. So it's better that you put it apart because maybe they're written. So I put everything apart because I build the bike, so it's easier.
Yeah.
And I put this, and then I put it in the machine, in the bus, everything. And in Jericho, I arrived in Jericho, I think 6 or 7, and it was dark. Yeah, Israelis don't say anything. They just eat, go, beseder. I say, okay. Okay. And then in Jericho, okay, where I need to sleep. Because I don't have the tent. The tent, Nynke take it because she need to camp in Dahab 10 days. And I just told her, I will reach home, don't worry. It's easy for me to sleep anywhere in Jericho. So in Jericho, I try to find some family member or friend of my brother. I sleep there one night. And then I hit the road to Tariq al-90, and then the road of 90, I think. And then I go to Jericho, Rexine, Jeflik, Nassariya, and then I hit Nablus, and then to the Balata, the house. Yeah, just climb. I don't stop, I just continue climbing. Yeah, I was, and somehow, it's actually now I remember this feeling. I'm scared. Because I don't know if I change or not, and I don't know what they expect from me, my family, because this trip has really changed me a lot in the way how I look about the things. So I'm scared that to be with them, but I'm so excited to be with them. So it's mixed feeling. But yeah, when I hug my mom, it's 3 years and a half I don't see her. I know it's not okay, and I had COVID, and I don't tell them anything, and they know that I have some problem. Yeah, I make it in somehow. I feel like nothing possible. You can do whatever you.
What is it that, and this is going to be the last question, and then we will watch also a video that you made. But what is it? Can you put it in words how you changed, or how do you look different at the world through this trip?
Like I will talk about different things. First, let's say about my family. I will not stop this traveling, and of course the family, they expect you. This is enough. You finish it. You come. But they don't really understand this is actually start something else in the freedom I get, or the idea of I can go anywhere. I never have it before, and now this has become reality of my, like how I see the life and what I want to do in the future. So I'm scared that I disappoint them in the way that I'm not the same. I'm the same guy, but I'm not the same plan. You know that I'm coming here or I come back. No, and of course, my mom, she don't get it till I am there. She told me, you're just crazy guy. Just you come by bike. Yeah. The good things, let's say, the other part of my personality, the conscious, like this is, I never know it will be kind of really shining inside me. Conscious, like you know about the dangers, but you don't see it. And this is actually training by traveling. Let's say if I want to put the tent tonight in this forest, I could feel this area much better than this area. And this is, I cannot really explain it. You just could feel about your own conscious. But this area better. Or this people, so you could feel it. And this is actually training in the trip. Yeah, it's amazing actually when you realize that this voice inside you say no or yes. So this is, wow. Yeah. And about scared, wow. Before this trip, I have something psychological called panic attack. And yeah, I'm 36 and I never ever thought in my life I will get to this position of psychology. I have panic attack, like wake up and then just scared like a hell. After seeing psychologists or seeing my doctors, and then they start to want to give me pills and stuff. And I just feel, no, this is not okay. This is not, I'm not sick. There's something wrong. So I put kind of goal in my head that I want to be in the most scary situation, like sleep in the forest, sleeping in the wild, to really experience what it means fear. And what I get is the fear is an idea. It's not a feeling. It's actually an idea. And if you understand it's an idea, you can control yourself and you can win everything. And I think in somehow I start to understand it's an idea. And that's it. The human being, he's scared from something he don't know. When he know it and experience, he's not scared about it. So I'm not scared because I'm in the lonely Netherlands or I feel depression. If I want to scare, I have to scare from the bear or from these animals. And I think I was okay. I was much stronger than I thought. And yeah. And the panic attack before the trip, it was 2 months, like every 3 days. I just feel shaking like crazy. And what's happened to me?
And during the bike trip, that didn't happen?
Yeah. It happened one time in Germany, and then it's gone because I start to do meditation because also the bike is meditation anyway. And then it's just gone, and I just feel like I understand myself now. Because you have to come back to yourself in the way that to know your freedom. You have to feed it.
So this means that you didn't finish. You are here, but you're going to continue biking. So do you have a plan?
Yes. Yeah, I have a plan because now I will go solo, alone. So, of course, it depends about COVID, which countries. But the plan, I will come back to Netherlands. I will switch something in the bikes. And then I will fly to Erbil. And from Erbil, I will see, maybe I will go to Central Asia or Iran. But this is about the COVID. I don't know yet. But because I have my drone in Turkey, I have to go from Iraq to Turkey and then I continue.
Yeah, your drone, because you did filming also during the trip and you have a steady camera, but you also had a drone. Yeah. So you have incredible footage and you left it in Istanbul because you couldn't take it to Egypt. So you have to pick it up. What about the footage? Are you planning, because you're going to show us 2 short videos, are you planning to do a bigger film?
Now I'm not really sure where my direction, but it looks like I will make maybe very short films about each country. But the things when you are traveling, don't have really actually a time to sit and see. I have 2 tera material, so it's a lot. So in somehow I'm between to make it a big movie, or really a movie, because also I come from artist background, so I'm there, or to make it like a YouTube series, like about, because I don't know when I'm reach India what will happen. I don't know. I really don't have any clue what will happen in there. But I'm more active in Instagram and in YouTube. I'm putting some videos. I try to make now small videos to talk about some subjects.
So if people want to follow you, if listeners of the podcast want to see some of your material or follow you on social media, where do they go?
Yeah, first in Instagram, my name is Salah on Bike. And also we have one page, me and Nynke, we posted about the stories of the people we meet. It's called Terhal on Bike. And Terhal coming from Terhal, like from traveling. Terhal in Arabic is traveling.
Yeah. I will post the links of that in the show notes of the podcast so that people can easily access it. And then through there, if they had any questions to you or if they wanted to reach out, they can always contact you.
And also the YouTube links is in my Instagram, so they can also click it, subscribe.
So we here in the Gister are going to watch those videos now, and the podcast listeners can go and click on the link in the show notes and see the video. I want to thank you so much for sharing your story. I know you would be able to talk for more hours and hours. But I really appreciate that you came all the way from Nablus to Beit Sahur to talk to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Krista. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. You can click the links in the show notes to go and see the videos and to check out the social media. And I would also like to remind you that since a couple of weeks, I have a Redbubble web shop where you can find merchandise and order directly to your home a large number of items on which you can have the logo of Stories from Palestine podcast printed. This logo was designed by Palestinian artist Ayed Arafa with the help of my children, Louisa and Hadi, who made the drawings for the logo. You can also find the different separate drawings there that you can also choose to get printed on one of the items that you like in the web shop. So I would say go and check it out. It's one way to help the podcast. You can help the podcast by sharing it with other people. You can help the podcast by doing a donation on the Ko-fi and also by buying some merchandise so that people get acquainted with the Stories from Palestine podcast when they see the logo. And it also helps me financially.
All the links that you need can be found in the show notes and on the website storiesfrompalestine.info. That's it. I hope you will tune in again next week.
If you enjoy listening to Stories from Palestine podcast, then I think you will also enjoy listening to my favorite podcast, which is called Jerusalem Unplugged. You can find it on most podcast players and on social media at Jerusalem Unplugged.